Hey guys, today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys another fall Dollar Tree DIY that I created.
All those days trying to find a place where you'll make them just be alone. All those nights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight.
So the first things that you will need, or what I use to create kind of like the fence look for this sign, is these little signs that they have now in the wedding section at Dollar Tree, where I share with you guys in my Dollar Tree haul, where it said like ceremony, cocktails, and it's basically a sign to kind of like an arrow to show people where things are at the wedding. But when I saw it, I thought that they looked exactly like those white picket fence posts, so I knew I wanted to use it for this DIY. Now in the back of these signs, they have the little sticks and these little metal things that pop off real easily with a butter knife, as you can see that I'm doing. But because I am popping the stuff off of this area, it does leave kind of like a messy part once you rip the things off on this side. Now you can sand it down and kind of fix it on this side, but I just saw that it was just going to be too much trouble, and I like to do DIYs really easy. So I was going to paint on the other side where you see like the names. Now I will say that when you do start painting on this, you will kind of see the indentions of the ceremony and the gifts and the signs on it, but I just kept adding different layers to it, and once you add your pumpkins, you won't see it. So also to make this fence, I'm going to take these rulers that I have been having. I told you guys I've been having it for a while. Some people at my job were giving away these wooden rulers, so I have a bunch of these on hand. But you can get 2 to a pack at Dollar Tree, these wooden rulers, to create this DIY as well if you don't have them on hand like I do. So what I did was I started lining up basically my little fence posts, my little arrows, up to with the wooden ruler. Now the wooden ruler is going to be basically not going to be the full length of all 5 of these arrows, but you don't need it to be the full length for it to show through in the front to make it look like a fence post, because it's not really, nobody's going to see the back, that it's not going to be the length. You just want the look of the fences put together. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just lining it up to make it even, so I kind of know how I want to glue these down and see what areas I want to put them down. And I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to do this. You can use any glue that you want, but I love my fast drying time of my hot glue gun, and so that's what I'm going to use for this DIY. And it's actually held really well, so I don't feel the need that I need to use my other glue for it, so that's what I went for. And I'm doing the middle row first because that is going to be basically kind of like the center of everything of where I'm going to set it up at. And I am going to bring in these arrows a little bit closer. I just wanted to kind of see where the ruler was going to be at before I laid anything down. So once I got that middle post glued down, I actually pushed in, as you can see, the other 2 pieces to kind of see where I'm going to lay them at, and then I brought my other ones back in as well. And as you can see, the ruler is not covering completely all the way over, but it is going to connect all them together. And like I said, you will not see it in the front. You just need the look of the back post for this DIY, so it doesn't matter that the ruler is not the exact length of, you know, the fence posts. And then I just continue to just hot glue the rest of them together. So as you can see, I made sure that with the rulers, the writing was on the back. So when I flipped it over, you can see that the rulers that are peeking through has the white side or kind of the beige side with no writing on it. So it's easier to paint. Now the paint that I'm going to be using for this is, of course, I'm going to be using a white paint, and I'm going to be using that Apple Barrel matte white paint that you guys have seen me use in a lot of my DIYs. It's really cheap at Walmart. And you have to make sure that you do layers and layers on this, because the cocktail ceremony reception, all the words on this, they kind of have like an indentation in them. So you want to make sure that you do like an extra layer over the part where the words are at, so that way you can kind of cover it up. So while I'm waiting for my white paint to dry on my fence post, I'm going to start working on the pumpkins. So for the smaller pumpkin of this DIY, I'm going to be using one of these pumpkins that comes off of this little dangly sign that comes with 3 pumpkins and 2 footballs. And it's a cute little sign that says family, friends, and football. And I'm going to be using these pumpkins for a lot of the DIYs that you're going to be seeing coming up on my channel. So I'm going to take one for this DIY, and you just yank off the ribbon, and it comes right off. The staples come off of the pumpkins with no problems, and it does leave a mark, but you'll be able to cover it up with paint. So for this pumpkin, I'm going to try to recreate this color of this pumpkin that I got from Target in the Target dollar spot. So I'm going to be using a couple of different shades like Key West, crisp green, some white paint, and also this dolphin gray that I have. So I'm just going to take all these different colors that I have at my house and just basically mix them together to try to recreate that color green. And you can basically take any colors that you have in your home to recreate the colors that you want as well. But once I was done getting the color that I wanted, I'm going to take this paintbrush that I got from Dollar Tree as well. All these new little paintbrushes that they have in the Crafter Square now, I love them. And I'm going to be using this big one and just take that color and just paint it all over this pumpkin. For my medium-sized pumpkin, I took this Welcome Friends pumpkin sign that you can get at Dollar Tree, and I'm removing the little stand part that is attached to it, and I'm going to save it for later because I'm going to use that little stand to hold up my fence post later. I am removing the little bow that comes on it because I want everything to lay flat once I put this pumpkin onto my fence, and I'm also going to remove the sticker so it makes it easier for painting. Because this pumpkin was a little stand, originally it had a little piece to it to go in between the pieces of the stand. So I'm basically just taking my scissors and rounding those pieces off to make this look more of a pumpkin shape. So for this pumpkin, I wanted to go with kind of like a beige color. So I'm taking this color in khaki, and I'm actually going to mix it with some white to make it that light kind of beige. I didn't want to make a white pumpkin because it would not, stand out against the white fence. So I decided to go with a lighter kind of beige pumpkin because I still wanted to go with the light tones. So that's why I'm just taking the khaki and I'm mixing it with the white to come up with the color that I want. For the larger pumpkin, I'm taking another one of these little pumpkin signs that they have at Dollar Tree, and this one is a little bit larger than the other one, but it's exactly kind of like the other one was as far as like the pumpkin sign. But I'm going to be taking it apart just like I did the last one, taking the little stand off, taking all the little embellishments off, and I'm going to be using my scissors to trim it to cut it into the pumpkin shape. But this one I will be coloring it I'll be painting it a harvest orange that's also from the Apple Barrel line. So while I waited for my pumpkins to dry, I started to assemble my fence posts. Now as you can see, I painted those little stands white to match my fence posts, and I'm going to be attaching them to either side of the fence post, and I'm just going to use my hot glue gun because I want this to be a fast drying time. as soon as I attach these, because it's going to be standing on top of the stands, I wanted the glue to be fast and easy, so I always go with my hot glue gun, and it worked perfectly, and it has stayed secure and stuck together. So I do recommend just using your hot glue gun. You don't need any extra strong glue for this, and you do want a glue that does have a fast drying time like hot glue gun, so that so that the fence attaches and stands on it instantly and you don't have to wait for it and it falls over. After I attached it with a little bit of glue on top, I went in the back and added some more glue just to secure it so that it stays in place and it doesn't fall off, and I do the same thing to the other side. And here's how the little fence post looks with the stands glued on them. And I was so glad that I had like little stands for them, so I'm able to stand up this decor piece anywhere in my house when I decorate with it. And this is how the little harvest orange pumpkin looks. And I did paint all the stems brown off camera because I figured that was just something that, it doesn't need to be shown. And here is the medium-sized pumpkin with that light beige look that I shared with you guys, how I mixed the colors together. And then of course the smaller pumpkin with that kind of like light pale grayish green as well. So I'm just layering the pumpkins on the fence to see how I want them, and I'm gonna have like the larger one and the small one kind of glued down to the fence post, and then the beige one, which will be in the middle, will kind of like a 3D look, and it'll be on top of both pumpkins. And of course I'm using my hot glue gun to glue everything down. Next, I wanted to add some type of words to this little fence post, so I'm taking this little welcome piece that I got from these little scarecrow signs that I share with you guys in my Dollar Tree haul. I removed them from the signs to use it for this DIY, and also stay tuned to see what I'm going to do with those boards, because they are huge boards from Dollar Tree and you can do so many DIYs with them. So stay tuned. I am going to be doing a fall DIY with those boards coming up on my channel. But I just glued that to the top part of it so that I have some type of, kind of words on here, just like decor pieces with some type of sayings on them. Then I'm taking this garland from Dollar Tree, and I'm actually going to be taking pieces of the leaves off of this garland and kind of placing it all over, different places. I'm kind of rearranging it, kind of playing with it to see where I want it. And I wanted to add some type of leaves onto here because I wanted it to look like outdoors, that it's outdoor on a fence post and the leaves are falling, and some are by the pumpkin, some are on the fence. I wanted it to really look like an outdoor decor piece. And that is it for this DIY, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I gave you guys some inspiration to create some fall decor pieces with Dollar Tree products on your own. Stay tuned. I will be having some more fall decor DIYs coming your way on my channel with Dollar Tree products. I'm super excited. I have some done. I just need to edit them for you guys. So stay tuned for those upcoming videos, because you guys will love these DIYs that I'm creating for you guys. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Hey guys, don't forget to click on the picture in the middle of the screen so you can subscribe to my channel and get notifications on all the new videos that I put out, and check out these other 2 videos that I have posted on my channel on either side of my picture. Have a great day.